Hey, Clyde Hayes Division. What's going on out there tonight, people, man? I told y'all we were back, man. We're in the garage. We're doing interviews all year long. So what's kicking tonight, man? It's got a good, really good friend of mine in the garage tonight doing an interview about all kinds of fucking shit. I mean, it's crazy. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to not just do all this bullshit about who this dude is. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, hello.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome to Hayes Division.
The Hayes Division.
You see, got the big screen in the back?
Oh, yeah. Checking it out.
So, tell me about you, Connor. You're how old?
32.
That's fucking young, bro.
I'll take it. It's one of those, like, every morning I wake up and I feel older. Does that count?
Well, I mean, your beard looks good. And you're losing it on the top like I did.
Well, and it's one of those, I'm not losing shit. It's just sliding back.
It's sliding back?
Oh, it's one of those, like...
So it's on your back and in your asshole?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, take a shower and I got to spend an extra 5 minutes on my back.
Does your wife ever shave that shit?
Oh, yeah, and the problem is you don't let her do it because she's a perfectionist. She's like, oh, no,
Whoa.
stop moving.
A perfectionist. So is she shaving or is she pulling shit?
It depends how fucked up I am to let her do
How
what.
often is this going on? Because this seems like it's a traumatic experience.
It's usually about a 2-month process, about
Damn,
60.
bro.
Yeah.
Does she ever get to your pimples?
No. I use that fucking Head and Shoulders.
Yeah?
With that zinc shit. You ain't got to worry about that.
I'm talking about on your back. I'm not talking about
telling you, yeah.
Oh, no shit.
No pimples.
So every now and then when I'm working a lot, et cetera, and I've wore the same clothes for 24 hours or something in my line of work, I'll be getting fucking back pimples.
Mm-hmm.
And when my wife spots one, she is a pimple motherfucking avocado, man.
Yeah, Chelsea likes to get the shit right there.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I'm sensitive, don't touch me.
He said, I'm sensitive, don't touch me. But yeah, so she just tears your ass up on.
Charlie sold her this tool one time that was a little pin with a circle at the end. And I think she thinks it's a shovel for a person's face.
No, she sold everybody those because my wife has those as well.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
They definitely suck. She sold, my wife not only has the circle, like scalpel deal.
Yeah, that
with
flips
circle,
over with the spoon on it. Yeah.
She's got that one. Then she's got another one that's got some hook in it. And then she's got another one, and she will fuck your back up. Yeah. And when the real problem is, it's not bad when she goes up and like gets one on the top.
Yeah, it's that middle section.
Middle and lower back. Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't know I was sensitive. That makes me move, man.
Well, that's like, she'll be trying to get one on my face, and I'll start tearing up. She's like, oh, look at you, little bitch. And I was like, leave me the fuck alone.
They're so fucking quick to fucking push that button, bro. So quick to push that button. But, we love them because, they make sandwiches good.
Yes, they do.
They're official sandwich makers.
Yeah.
You're not going to fall for that shit?
No, it's one of those, like, I played this game.
Yeah, everybody knows my wife don't make sandwiches.
Well, I was about to say, to keep a sandwich maker, you can't call her a sandwich maker.
Everybody knows my wife don't make sandwiches, so I use that joke when I'm around other people because they know
see who's going to bite off.
Yeah, see who's going to bite off. And oh shit, yeah, my wife makes. I don't even do my laundry. My wife does my laundry. I'm like, man, shit.
You about to fuck up.
Not this month, she not, sir. Not this month. So you're 32.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Pisces, Libra?
September-ish.
September-ish? Like you don't know what that is?
No, it's one of those, like, September? I don't do horoscope. Because,
I don't. I just know I'm an Aries. I don't.
Well, Vicky Valancourt, you're gonna breathe every day.
Vicky Valancourt. Who the fuck is Vicky Valancourt?
Waterboy. You ain't seen the Waterboy?
I do know. Yeah.
You're gonna breathe every day.
Oh my God. Vicky Valancourt. I do remember that. That's been.
Show me them boobies. I like them too.
Vicky Valancourt. No shit. So 32, September-ish, which fuck somebody. Let me think. What is September? So I know August is. Fuck, I don't even know what August is.
Don't ask me.
I don't either. I know what April is. That's the only one I know is Aries. Shit, I guess I don't follow it that much. I can tell you all the runes in the Elder Futhark, but I can't tell you a damn thing about no zodiac.
I'm with you on that one.
So, you graduated high school?
Yep.
Where at?
Hawkins High School.
No shit. I didn't know. I know you moved back to Hawkins recently.
Yep.
But I didn't know that was where you were from. I know your mom and dad's from Hawkins, but I didn't know that's where you're from.
Yep.
Did you really?
Yep.
No shit. We were probably going after the same chicks at one point in time.
Probably. Well, my problem was I snuck off Tyler as fast as I could, looking for them stinky leg White House girls.
Oh man, yeah.
You got an ashtray?
I do got an ashtray. Everybody bear with us.
Technical difficulties.
No, ain't no technical difficulty.
I was unprepared.
That's all right. I move them over here. Just
Heck
go away
yeah.
and Nana. We'll get the damn ashtray and leave it on my table.
There you go.
So I always put the ashtrays back over there.
I like it.
So the Hawkins Hawks.
Hawkins Hawks.
Yeah, so in what? Let's see. I mean, you're way
Yeah, I'm 08.
way younger than I am, but my grandpa and grandma lived over there off of Sabine,
Mm-hmm.
right by Hawkins. And I used to go there quite often, and every time I go down there, I find me a new girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's you Hawking girls. Push
They're-
that mic towards
They're
you.
easy.
I'm not going all that far. I'm
Yeah.
not going all that far. I'm just saying, and we go to Lake Hawkins and fish and everything
Uh-huh.
else. And I wasn't from there, and I'd find them
Yeah.
little old girls, and I'd smile, and they'd smile.
Everything worked out.
Everything. Well, no, it never really worked out. I'd go home, and this is back. I'd go home and get my mama a long distance phone bill. And we were talking about that the other day. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I mean, you're younger than I am. I don't know how much you dealt with phone
Shit,
bills.
It was one of those, like, I remember my mom being tethered to the phone, and so she bought her one of them long cords so she could walk halfway through the house.
Oh, yeah.
And tangle up everything. Yeah.
When I was, because where we lived at is we're in Van School District, but we're actually had a Mineola phone.
Uh-huh.
So anybody that I called in Van that I went to school with,
Was
it's a long distance phone call.
Yeah.
And dude, I used to get in trouble all the time. But recently, I bought the younger boys, new iPads, and bought Gavin a new iPhone for his birthday. And I went through and set them all up. And I didn't change anything from the other boys, but I guess I didn't restrict him on the apps he bought.
Right.
I wake up Sunday morning, and I got over $100 in app charges.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I don't know what boy it was at the time.
Yeah.
I turn everybody off.
Yeah.
And then I go through and I kick them off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to the point where I lock everything up because I have that ability on all their devices. And I said, hold on. Nobody's doing anything right now. Everybody's asleep. Wait till you start asking around. So, of course, the first kid I go to, hey, did you download apps today? You can see the guilt. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, Dad. I'm like, you get those costs. But I had some money on Apple, Dad. Son, the first app you bought was $5. You only had $3 on Apple. So where do you think the rest of that money come from?
They just kept giving me more.
They kept, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's what he said. And of course, I told him, I said, okay, you owe that back.
Right.
And so he's working that money back off. But I was telling my wife about it, and she's like, oh, are you fucking serious? I'm like, babe, I'm not mad, okay?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm not mad is because I don't know if you remember this, because, of course, you're a little younger, but in my day, they had those Penthouse and Playboy magazines in the back of them.
Oh, see, we had Fox.
Yeah, see, I didn't have all that shit. In the back of those Penthouse and Playboy magazines, they had a phone number that you could call, and it was a 1-800 some shit. And you'd call, and you're supposed to, me and the boys at that time called that damn number, and my granddaddy got like a $600 phone bill.
900 numbers.
Yep. What's fucked up? And we got in trouble.
Yeah.
What's really fucked up is we never talked to anybody.
Yeah.
We were on hold the whole damn time.
Uh-huh.
And what's really bad, what's really, really super bad, and I am not proud of this at all. What's really super bad is that we did that. He got the charges took off. Somehow the phone bill dropped the charges.
Yeah.
We did it again.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure there was
Yeah.
not nobody on that
Yeah.
other line. And that part of it was, it to me, that's why I didn't get offended.
Uh-huh.
When I told my wife, I said, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I told her that
Remember
story.
when we were kids?
I told her that story, and she's like, yeah, I get it. But, I mean, he's paying this shit fucking off. I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to pay that shit off.
Uh-huh.
So, 32, Hawkins.
Yeah.
You graduated from Hawkins?
Yep.
Did you play any sports?
Yeah. Played Football, basketball, tennis,
Oh, you
ran
played?
track. Yeah.
Did I ain't see you
Yeah.
running track? You're talking. So I mean, you
I
were
was short. I was little, dude.
no shit. When'd you get
Dude,
your growth spurt?
after my senior year,
No shit. So
I
you went
grew-
through all that
I
shit.
grew 8 inches and put on 75 pounds right after school.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what size were you in school?
I was 5'3", and I didn't break 100 pounds until my senior year.
No shit. So what did you play in football?
I was receiver and corner.
Yeah.
In other words, I was just a tackle dummy.
Yeah, that's
You know,
exactly
I
it. That's
mean,
what I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what it was.
because I mean, I wouldn't. You couldn't have played much because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Hawkins never really lasted very long.
No.
So
Well, we Hawkins is great football until the first 6 weeks comes and report cards come out.
report cards come out. Fucking everybody's like, "Oh, I failed out.
Yeah,
I failed out." But so you track?
Yeah.
That small, you were fast?
No, I was distance runner, but I pole vaulted.
Because you were short, and
Well,
I mean, I know a lot of tall guys that
Yeah.
pole vault because they got the legs to go over. I guess.
Well, it's just how fast you stab it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you've always been good at that.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm quick in, quick out.
No shit. Pole vaults. I mean, what did you not do? Did you do any debate?
No, well, I did academic.
What the hell is academic?
Academic decathlon.
I don't know what that is.
It's
You can see my education level.
Well, it's one of those like they give you a topic and you study all this topic and then you'll debate whether.
I thought that's debate.
It's like debate
Because that's what's Ian's in now.
Yeah.
Did you have to wear a suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought fucking a $200 suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to state senior year.
Hawkins did?
Yep.
Like 2 brothers and their sister? I mean,
it was, I think, a cousin.
I was finna say the breeding area is not that big over
Well,
there.
and it's funny because like Hawkins, it's one of those the breeding's in 6 or 7 different areas, so it's not all the same family, you know.
Yeah, we give shit on Hawkins. I love a lot of people from Hawkins. That's where my cousins went to Hawkins. You might know one of my. I think he may be 10 years younger than you. Christian. I don't remember Christian's last name. He's my Uncle Ronnie's stepson. I don't call him, but I don't remember his name. My Uncle Ronnie's Turner, so I don't know.
I knew some Turners.
Yeah.
I went to school with a bunch of Turners, but
He probably didn't go to school. These boys are young, and my Uncle Ronnie's older than I am.
these boys were my age.
Yeah. Oh,
Who knows?
there ain't no damn telling.
Nope.
Because I mean, we're in East Texas, so I
Yeah.
mean, everybody we found out that shit the other day. My stepdad did his DNA through one of those 23andMe deals. Come to find out, he's Sarah's cousin.
Oh shit, family.
That's what I told her. I said, baby, I guess
Family tree's spinning now.
we kind of family. And she's like, really? That's your stepdad, and I'm your wife. There's no connection there. And I mean,
by the family tree.
Yeah, I mean,
scrolling.
I've
Branches are touching.
I've looked at all that shit, and everything when you go on one of those websites, it's a stepbrother and stepsister. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, cousins, it's in there. Fuck it,
Uh-huh.
So, graduated high school in Hawkins, and then did what?
I went to TJC for a while. I was 20 hours away from my mechanical engineering degree
Oh, no shit.
and decided I could make more money without it,
Oh, yeah?
and been doing so since.
Doing mechanical engineering.
Pretty much.
Okay, so what do you do for a living?
I'm general manager at a fabrication shop.
Yeah?
Yep.
What do you fabricate?
Yep. It's one of those, we've done everything from record beds to chemical storage containers for mining.
So it's all custom.
Well, I mean, yes, 90% of our business in the last 5-10 years has been industrial plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
So trench drains, floor drains, interceptors,
Mhm.
roof drains. I mean, that's what we do day to day. But we've done burners and Murphy and, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it, we probably built it once.
So you say you went to college and realized you can make. So did you go do an internship here, or you just go
No.
get a job here?
No, I had a job at Tyler Tool when I was 15 years old, moving one bolt warehouse to another area.
Yeah.
And they got a laser in, and when they got the laser, they were running AutoCAD. Well, shit, I knew AutoCAD from high school.
Correct.
And so I was like, I know CAD, and my dad was running the shop at the time. He goes, shut your fucking mouth. You don't know a damn thing. Okay, whatever. Well, anyways, the guy comes in and he's like, "Who knows AutoCAD?" And I raise my hand. He looks at me and, I'm a little kid. He's like, "You don't know AutoCAD?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Hang on a second." He runs to his truck and he gets a drawing. And he says, "You can draw this 5 minutes. I'll teach you how to run that laser." I was like, "All right, no problem." So I drew it in about a minute.
What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a flange with like 6-hole hole pattern.
Yeah, and he don't get that. That's some of the first shit you learn in
It
AutoCAD.
was simple.
Yeah.
And so I drew it in about a minute and a half, and he goes, "Whoa." He goes, "Show me how you did that." And I did, and he goes, "Oh shit, you do know CAD." Well, I was doing TSA, which was Technical Student Alliance.
Yep.
That was our thing in high school. We went to Chicago my freshman year for international. And
no shit.
Yeah, so I mean,
What'd you compete with?
We went. Regionals was all our drafting and problem solving, or our bridge building.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing problem solving and the bridge building are what I got real good at.
Okay.
And we went to Chicago freshman year. Went to somewhere in Florida sophomore year. Went to Dallas was junior, and then Nashville was senior year.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
You traveled a lot.
I got to travel in school. Yeah.
Yeah, you traveled more than fucking half the other people that was in debate, and except for the band camp kids, you fucking traveled your ass off.
I was band camp kid.
Well, you were band camp kid too.
Dude, I'm gonna let you know, I was band president.
What? No, I can see it though, bro. I can see it.
It wasn't the way that most people get it.
No,
I got it because I pissed off the drum major and told her she was a cunt. Apparently, if you do that, everybody likes you more for it.
Well, that is a possibility.
I'm telling you.
Was she a cunt?
Yeah, she was a cunt.
I was told that.
The funny part was that she wasn't a cunt outside of band, but when she got her little drum major bullshit, she became a cunt.
So, question: what do you think she's doing today?
I have no clue. She was smart, so I mean.
You think she's bullying some office?
I would definitely. She's CEO, CFO, something.
She had the potential, huh?
Oh yeah,
she had the potential.
But usually what ends up with people like that is they end up puppying kids, and she's probably at home raising kids. And I apologize, but.
But at that point, because that's
yeah.
Man, you become the fucking band.
I was band president and quit that semester.
So what'd you play in a band?
I played baritone and trumpet.
No shit. Can you still play?
Shit, I hadn't tried in forever, but I'm sure I could.
Well, I mean, your kids, you just took them out of homeschool, and now they're actually going to real school. We have band in van.
Well, it's one of those, but Chelsea, anything that could stimulate a mind, Chelsea's against. So it's one of those like, "Hey, Billy, why don't you try this?" No. Chelsea says, "Well, why don't you do choir?" Really? That's okay? So,
Choir's okay. There's got to be backup singers to everything.
Well, and that's the thing is, I'm hoping Billy just jumps on it and he starts doing the dance that goes with it.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
that there's some good singing dancers out there.
I think he can make it.
You're gonna get beat up when she listens to this.
No, that's right.
But hey, it's people that don't know us know we laugh and joke with our wives all the time. But I mean, at the same point in time, you were the band major, so I mean, you should have a say in this.
You would think.
What would you suggest if you were ex-band major, if you're sitting there looking at your kids, because I do this, I have 7 boys, and I look at my kids all the time and think, okay, what should you be doing in this or that? What would you put in your kids?
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I was always told, do everything and then pick what you like.
Yeah.
And I think our kids should do the same. I just, no, we just got caught.
She heard you talking shit.
Yeah,
and if everybody don't know, the girls come in to get some alcohol, it looks like. Let me hit that back cam. Y'all can see they're in. But, all right, so what would you
Why
get?
Are you hiding?
She's not hiding.
Oh.
So what would you get if you got 3, what?
Yeah.
2 boys and a girl.
Yep.
Out of those 2 boys, what are you looking for?
I was looking for my lighter.
Man, I got a whole stack of them in that jar
go.
right there. So what do you got? You got saxophone?
Oh, no. Well, see, and this thing is like, my boys, they're abrasive as it is. So I think, Bo and Billy would definitely be some type of percussion.
Percussion? So they're beating on a set of drums.
Yeah, and it's one of those, with all
You
the
know, it's
video
funny
games.
that you know all those things. I don't even know what fucking. I mean, I had to think about it for a
Yeah.
second. What percussion is?
Oh well, it's one of those like I listen to music and I listen to the back of the music, not the words.
Okay.
And so but Beckett, she's loud. I mean, she'd probably be that clarinet sounding like a damn goose. Gronk, gronk.
But it's funny that we look. To me,
Oh
you
yeah,
look at your
and
kids.
think
You think
about it.
hey, you know what? Well, if it comes up to that, hold on real quick. We're gonna pause. All right, we're back. We cannot stream it.
All right.
So I had to put some of this in there. So I got logs where I can chop this shit up.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes because I'm on call, I gotta fucking pause.
I understand.
So band instruments, Mr. Band. So where did you go with the band?
I didn't go anywhere with it. I dropped out. It was one of those. I was actually wanting to go to scholarship for TJC on baritone.
What's baritone?
It's like, you ever seen the thing with the big horn? It's kind of like a trombone and a trumpet had a baby.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a real small tuba.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I like to play.
And you're good at what kind of noise does it make?
It's baritone. It's
like
deep.
somebody singing baritone?
Yeah, it's deep.
No shit.
Yeah, it's
What'd you like about it?
Honestly, I mean, that's where all your main chorus is deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, any song. Your main, I mean, and that's, you rock music.
Free bird.
Your riff is all your bass guitar.
Yeah.
It's all the bass. And that's what I liked about it. Simple, I wanted to go to TJC on it, and band director needed trumpet players, and he tried to move me back to trumpet, and it was like, nope, fuck you, I'm out.
Man, my son played trumpet in school when he was in band, and he can still I got that big bullhorn, old Viking. He can blow the shit out of it.
Yep.
And it amazes me because I can't blow it for shit.
Uh-huh.
And I've tried. Everybody else has tried. Most people can't. And it's a certain way you put your lip. That's fucking it.
We had a conch shell, like a conch shell. That's what we took it to everything. Any game we went to, any stuff like that.
Oh,
and
no
it's
shit.
One of those, it sounded just like.
You still have it?
I don't have it anymore.
The school had it?
Well, one of my buddies had it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I thought you as a family had it. I mean, I'll take it. I seen y'all playing, was it Uno the other night?
Yeah.
No,
Phase
6. What is
Phase 10?
I don't think I've ever played Phase 10.
It's a simple game. You got to
You bet on it?
No.
Oh.
It's one of those, like, I got to try to teach my kids to gamble on their own. Like,
no. I got them, their asses at the table right now. They grow up gambling at poker.
Well, and that's the thing is my kids would take all my money and think they're good at it, and then go into real life and know they suck.
Well, that's what you want them to do. Learn the hard way sometimes.
No, it's one of those like y'all go figure it out yourself.
So how long were you at TJC?
I was at TJC for 3.5 years.
Oh no shit!
Mm-hmm.
You really was pushing it.
I was, like I said, I've only got 20 hours, and I have my bachelor in mechanical engineering.
No shit. So what did you lack as finishing?
I like
your core classes, or
nope. I like 2 math classes and a speech and something else. I mean, it was junk stuff.
Yeah,
but it was one of those, like, at the time I couldn't afford my tuition and my books because I didn't take any loans out going through school.
Well, that was smart.
Well, hindsight's 20/20, right?
I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, well, and it's one of those, like, I didn't take any loans. I mean, shit, I worked through the whole thing, and so I couldn't afford both books and classes. I said, fuck it. But I also had a teacher I couldn't stand, and I had
in what class?
It was drafting.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, the funny part was she was one of the judges in our regional.
What year was this?
2010.
I was in class then.
Yeah, well, see,
at TJC.
This was a lady professor.
I met her.
A cunt. She was a judge at the TSA competitions, and she recognized me immediately, and she's like, "What are you doing in here? You know how to draw." I was like, "Yeah, I do. I just have to take this class so all my credits transfer."
Yeah,
because I had like 30 hours of draft time before I was out of high school.
Yeah,
and
did those transfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm getting there. I had to take her class. It was half AutoCAD, half Inventor.
Okay.
Well, AutoCAD, no problem. That's what I knew. Inventor, it's AutoCAD's 3D version.
Oh, yeah. I was good with Inventor. My books are still up there.
Well, see, and it's one of those, the AutoCAD was the easy part for me. Well, anyways, we were doing AutoCAD and switching over to Inventor, and she goes, "We draw with Inventor for 3D items because you can't do it in AutoCAD." And I raised my hand. I was like, "Yes, you can."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Well, it's not efficient." And I was like, "Yes, it is." I was like, I could draw that in less 5 minutes. And she said, "Do what?" And I said, "Yeah, this part you're trying to draw, it was a block, had a 45 on it and some holes."
Yep.
And I was like, "I can draw that in 5 minutes on AutoCAD." She thought she was going to be, I don't know. She put me on the big screen and she's like, "All right, Mr. Montgomery, show us." So I went away, I drew it. As soon as I got done, she looks at me and she's like, "All right, you had enough for today." I say, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" She's like, "Oh, you can leave." Cool. So didn't think anything about it. Like, haha, showed that bitch. I left. Nothing bad. I never made below 95 in her class.
Yeah.
Whenever I got my grade for the final, it was a 70.
Oh, no shit.
And I learned right then.
Can't show teacher up.
Yeah, you gotta follow suit.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I have big problem with authority, so
that
didn't work for me.
Well, I think we must have been like really missing each other, seeing each other, hell, even seeing each other there then, because that's 2009 and 10.
Mhm.
So I think Gavin was born in 2010, and that's when I stopped going to college. I was finishing my second degree, and I had actually a guy that was supposed to be here tonight is one of the old college professors from there.
Mhm.
He was going to come by and drink some mead with me tonight, and I had him for CAD, and I'm not going to say his name right now because it's popping out of my head, but I had him for CAD, and I flew through those courses. But the SolidWorks was easier for me than CAD, because this is my problem with every college course I've done. They give me a book. I skim through the book.
Yeah.
They give me a project. I push some buttons, figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do everything how I
figured it out.
Yeah. And I pass. I finished before everybody else in the class. And normally they have me helping the other people in the class do the project. Same thing happened when I took computer science. When I was programming, they had me helping, and then they would turn around and somebody would ask me, "Well, how'd you do this?" And I'd show them, and they're like, "Well, that's not what the book shows." I get it, but you're there. It works. You want to complete the project. And I look back on it and I wonder sometimes, excuse me, if there's steps to doing that shit for a reason. And then I remember, I look at all the shit that I've built and I've designed and I've programmed, and I'm like,
I'm doing all right.
I know. And this is the same thing with code always. There's a simpler way to do everything, and it's preferable if you can get in that simpler way.
Yeah.
Because it'll take you less time, or there's something you use that's more convenient. But there's also habit. And that, I think that's what you were dealing with. You knew how to do something. You didn't want to learn this new shit because you knew you could do it in that process. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, Inventor and SolidWorks, they're the same thing, essentially.
Yes.
It's one of those, it's a display, a 3D model. Now, in my line of work, I'm a fabricator. So I have to start with nothing to get to that 3D model.
Yeah.
So my brain works, take apart the box, make the pieces of the box and put the box together.
Yeah.
Well, when you're drawing an Inventor or SolidWorks, you start from something solid and make it.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's one of those, like, that's fundamentally flawed by, the way I look at things. And you got to start at the beginning and work your way through.
When you do CAD projects like that, you do a basic drawing before you start adding layers.
Well, I very, very, very seldom use layers, and the reason being is because I can see where I'm going.
Well, I'm not. I don't mean
what I'm saying.
I don't mean layers. I do know exactly what you're saying. I don't mean layers. I mean before you start turning them to 3D.
No,
actual outside of it.
It depends what I'm drawing. Okay. And most of the stuff, like right now, I'm working on something with a bunch of threads.
Yeah.
You can't draw threads in AutoCAD. You have to take a helix.
Correct.
And then you have to take triangle, revolve it around the.
Correct.
Well, the compensation, and I found this out 3D printing, you make 0 tolerance threads, they do not work.
Correct.
Don't work.
No, of course they won't.
And so it's one of those, like, learning how much compensate.
You got to have some flex.
Yeah, you got to have give. And on stuff like that, I'll actually draw it and set it to the side and then copy it and use that to keep going. That way, if I mess up,
yeah.
I can go back
Well,
to
that's
that.
that's
And-
like everything. I do
yeah.
that with even these podcasts. I create an original, and
Yeah.
I go through and I chop it up, then I render it, then I go back through and I
Mhm.
chop it up some more,
Exactly.
and I pull a piece out, add a piece here, pull the
Yeah.
audio out of this. Yeah, it's the same shit. And that's what. Speaking of SolidWorks and CAD and all that shit, that's one thing, because when I was taking those classes, I had a trial of CAD
Yes.
because they give it with you in SolidWorks and everything else. They give it with you when you're taking that course. And I knew at that point,
Busted again.
I knew at that point that I wouldn't be using these expensive programs when I got out, because my plan wasn't to go to work for some big company. And hold on one second, pause. What are you looking for, babe? It's gonna be over there and something in your stuff.
It's been evicted.
What do you need an X-Acto knife for? There's that razor right there, and there's blades right there. Does either one of those help? Look in the. No, I don't think there's razor blades in any of that. Now, right up under this monitor over here is the scalpels and everything. This monitor over here. That monitor in the corner.
One with the blue light.
No, I don't have any scalpel, any of those. You took them off, and they're in your shit. Okay, and there's new blades right there. Yeah, I think those might be flat blades. Right there on top, the black pouch. Yeah, that's the scalpel set.
Operation.
So with AutoCAD, I found out that I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford that shit. So when I got out of, even when I was in college, I was finding out other options, and that's when I started using Google SketchUp. Because at that point, now Google SketchUp's no longer free.
Yeah.
But at that point, Google SketchUp was free.
Yeah.
And I got into Google SketchUp, and I started doing all my drawings and prints from Google SketchUp. But there's a big difference between SketchUp and what AutoCAD is.
Yeah.
Or even SolidWorks.
Well, and the funny thing about it is that all the commands are still the same.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that's like, I was using something the other day. It was a paint product, like Microsoft Paint 3D or whatever.
Yeah, I got it on the computer.
And it's one of those, like, I was using it and I'm like, oh, okay, they kind of converge, but this is this command, you know? My thing is I had one seat of AutoCAD 2007 in 2007. So I had my own package.
Yep.
Now, the problem is that every time they advance computers, they no longer let you use that shit. And AutoCAD's gotten to where now you have to pay a subscription. So it was one of those like, fuck, what do we do? Well, Tyler Tool, they buy mine. It stays on my computer because I'm the only one that drafts most of the time. Now, there's 3 of us that can, but I'm the one. So it's on my computer at the house. I couldn't afford it. You know, I mean, shit, it's like fucking $3,000 for 3 years. It's ridiculous. But it's one of those, since I have it, I'm going to use it.
Well, there's, and I don't know how that's eventually going to pan out. And the reason I say this is because since
I think they're going to sponsor people. I mean, I honestly think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be, okay, you're good at this. We'll pay for your license for a year or whatever.
Well, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the tinkerers. I'm talking about the kids.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I can get online.
Open source. Well, I mean, Tinkercad. Have you used Tinkercad?
Yes, that's what I was getting at.
I mean, I've used it. When Billy, I bought him a 3D printer, and I'm like, dude, look, here's this. Figure out how to use it.
Well, they have OpenCAD, and I've tried OpenCAD, but it's nowhere near.
No,
it's nowhere near what I expect. Because Google SketchUp is still semi-free. There's layers of it, and I still use it sometimes when I'm drawing stuff. But there's Google SketchUp, there's Tinkercad, there's 4 or 5 other online ones that's basically block type, basically a SolidWorks type system. And then there's FreeCAD, and I have FreeCAD on 3 of my computers, and I use it sometimes. Yeah, but it's the same thing goes in different programs. Like I have Photoshop now because of doing all these videos.
Yeah,
but I've used GIMP for years. I
Uh-huh.
still use GIMP.
Yeah.
I'll pull a picture up
Uh-huh.
to do something on Photoshop and be like, well, where's the fucking button at? Why is this not working? It's one of those things where it has too many functions.
It's, you know what you like, and
Yep.
you knew where it was, and
Yep.
it's not there anymore. And that's like, I mean, even with AutoCAD was like that forever.
Yep.
I started drawing in AutoCAD 2000. The commands don't change. The picture to the command changed.
Mhm.
And that was like, the only good thing I have is I knew what short keys were.
Yep, shortcut keys.
Back from forever ago.
Now, shortcut keys make a big difference.
Well, and it's one of those, you memorize 30 codes or 30 of them. You can do anything you want.
But kids are getting good at that shit, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're natural. It's one of those, that's what they got raised in.
Yeah.
You give somebody 50, 60 years old a new cell phone, they freak the fuck out.
Yeah, they
you
definitely
give a
do.
kid, a 3-year-old, a cell phone, they got it figured out.
Yeah, I got some videos on this podcast channel where I was showing Gavin Python.
Yeah.
And showing Gavin how to program. He wanted to do some little voice cards and actually sew them in teddy bears with basically voice to text to speech, where he texted out and it actually said what he said. So I showed him, I bet him a little program on Python to do that, and then went in and showed him how the program is layered, because you didn't just go in there and put a text. I didn't build him a box. I gave him the code. I said, here's the code. These are the layers that go in the code. Go in there and
fill it out.
You fill it out. You change this and you run your program, and it's going to spit you out an MP3. And boy, he was spitting out MP3s. Then you can watch on the video, he learned that if he got by Google and he spit out the code that said what Google needed to do, he was over here turning my damn music off and all kinds of shit. And I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, what the fuck happened to my music? I'm over here programming. I look over and this little fucker's just smiling because he's got a Google right in front of him. And he's telling the computer, because he's not talking. The computer is saying it just loud enough that Google's picking up on it and turning my shit off. So these kids are really getting it, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got hope. I did a podcast earlier.
We were told when we were kids, don't sit too close to the screen. You're gonna get cancer. Boys have Oculus. It's like this.
Oh, there's one right here in front. There's an Oculus right there in front.
I can't do that.
There's a big one up there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I did it, and I did the demo, and I took the Oculus off, and I felt like I was gonna puke. And it was like,
yeah. So that happens to some people.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
And that Oculus over there, though, it's pretty good. It's a mobile Oculus. It doesn't have sensors and everything. It measures everything. Now, it's not the newest one, but it's pretty good. When's the last time you got on one?
About a year ago, whenever I bought it for Billy.
Was it that kind of Oculus that's right behind this monitor?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the white ones, the Oculus 2 or Oculus.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It made me sick.
No shit.
Yeah, well, it was one of those, like, doing the demo game, I was fine, because you're slow and it's easy, nothing.
Oh, no, there's zombie killers and shit in there.
Billy put it on some gorilla something.
Yeah.
And I almost puked. I mean, it was just like, woof.
Because with that one, you can, like that chair that spins around, Coy Wayne will get that on his head and put that fucking chair out there in the middle, and he's spinning and shooting and screaming. And then the other times we walk in here and it's really quiet. So I don't know what he's doing at that time. I got some ideas because baiting the hook.
Baiting.
But I do get it. So TJC, it was the mix of everything going on that made you want to just drop money?
It was one of those. It was all money. I mean, it was one of those. I could afford my classes, but I couldn't afford my books. And the first 3 months of me doing that, I had a friend of mine, and I was just copying her book.
Yeah.
And so I'd go in with whatever I needed. Well, but it got to where it was such a fucking headache. And where was the payoff? Well, shit. If I got my degree, I was going to have to do an internship.
Yeah.
And make nothing. And it's like, no, I'm just going to skip.
So you quit.
Yeah, I quit school.
And went to work where you're at now?
Well, I'd been working there since I was 15.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just went full time, which I was already full time. It was just I went more time.
So as you've progressed there, have they basically... Just knowing you as long as I've known you, you seem like you've put more on your shoulders. Have they opened up more of what they do based off of your abilities?
Oh yeah, well, it's one of those like when I started running the laser, it was one of those like they would give me the cut sheets and be like, "Here, you take care of this."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got good at that. By the time
What kind of laser was this?
it's a Mazak.
Okay.
CO2,
Yeah.
1,000 watt is what we had when I started.
What were y'all cutting?
Yes, I mean
Yeah, everything.
It's one of those. We cut 2 stainless steel water fountains that were guitar from the 5th fret up.
Oh.
They were water fountains. They went in the Hard Rock Cafe in Biloxi, Mississippi, all mirror finished stainless. The frets on them were huge.
Yeah.
And it was one of those. We did all that on this old junk ass laser.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those. Since we were tied in with Tyler Pipe, it was cheap. It was easy. I mean, we didn't have the high energy bills most people would have, so we could run the machine, an older machine, at the same price as somebody with a brand new one.
Yeah,
because we're not paying things. Most. So it benefited us. But where I was going is like when I did the laser, it was one of those I was waiting on somebody to bend my shit. So it's like,
gotcha.
fuck, I'm gonna learn how to use that press brake. So I learned how to use the press brake, and it was one of those like I was waiting on a damn welder.
Mm-hmm.
So I had somebody teach me how to TIG, MIG, stick, anything I want to do. And same with the machine work. It was one of those, we do a lot for Tyler Pipe where we take their castings and we'll thread them. They'll cast them solid.
Yeah.
And then we'll cut out the threads or do this, do that. And so it was one of those, I learned the mills and lathes for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got to where I knew how to use every machine in our shop. And that's when it was one of those like, hey, you need to go up front. I don't do well up front. I don't. I mean, I'm one of those, I'm ADD naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be doing something.
Yep.
And so it was one of those, I run the shop from the back and my brother builds it and sends it out. So, I mean, it works great for us. But
so as you've progressed on that, I mean, right now, basically you're a new age machine shop because you have lasers and what's some of the
and the thing is I mean the difference between our shop and 90% of any other shop is how fast we can turn around something.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is most shops are completely scheduled 6 to 8 weeks out, and it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks out.
Oh yeah.
We're one of those that if you come in and this was oil field, like, when we were doing a bunch for the oil field, that's where we really thrived because they'd come in at 9 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, I need 2 of these and they have to be out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, there would be 6, 7 of us that would stay all night and produce this item, usually knockouts or flares or something like that. And then we'd have 2 painted ready on the truck next day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was where we benefited. I mean, now that's not always a good thing because when people know you can do something, that means you don't have any free time.
That's right.
And that's, we were working 112 hours a week,
Oh yeah.
And it was like, fuck this. And that's, I mean, I think COVID really helped. We got to where it was one of those like, no, let's schedule it. And if we can't do it, let's pass it on.
Yeah.
The biggest saying that we've learned is not all money's good money.
That's right.
And anybody needs to know that because because you're going to get paid for it don't mean it's right.
That's right.
And so,
you can overtax yourself and you can overschedule yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Because some people look at business when it walks in the door. They want all business. But you don't have time for that business right now.
And not all business gravy business.
That's true. So, pick the ones that's easiest. You make all the money out of them.
Or your money makers. But.
So besides the laser, and y'all have a new laser now.
Yeah, we got a 4,000 watt. Well, it's not new. It's a 05.
Yeah.
I've actually got 2 of them. They're 4,000 watts. I mean, they'll cut, all the way up to 3/4 inch thick. It looks like shit. I don't like cutting anything over a 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
But, I can cut 1/2 inch carbon, 1/2 inch stainless.
Oh, no shit. That's not what you cut. So you made me a metal sheet, what is it? A monogram for my wedding. What'd you use to do that?
The laser.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't think it was a laser.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, I've been cutting acrylic.
Mine can cut acrylic. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, we were doing this with the CO2s. big ones. And that's, I bought one of those. And the first thing I did when I was setting it up, I ran, I was etching something. And I looked at it and it's just setting this shit on fire. I'm like, golly, that's way too high.
Mm-hmm.
So I took my amperage or wattage and I went to nothing. And that's when I was getting best results. And I'm like, golly, this little block that's this big compared to, a machine that wouldn't fit in here.
Yeah.
This is more than enough.
Yeah.
So.
And that's something you got to look at. I mean, it's like I have 2 lasers now, and my big laser it can do some amazing shit, but my small laser can do a lot of normal shit.
Yeah.
And you got to, when you start trying to knock, like I have, I got 20 beard combs to engrave on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at that, I say, okay, so I can do one here and one there.
Yeah.
But then you turn around and
this 2 different setups, and
that's something. Yeah. Well, that's something you look at, and this is something I want to talk to you about. Is that like mine? I have a bigger area and a more consistent program on my new laser.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually go in and set a job up and have that job repeat itself and move over 2 inches.
Yeah, and do it again.
And do it without pushing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just set it all the way up with layers and do this one here, this one. As long as I set everything up, it just starts busting them out. My other one, I have to set up, put it under, align it up, run it. That's time and money.
Yes.
With me, it's not so much time and money. It
costs, but it's not. It's your hobby time.
It's my hobby time.
Yeah.
When you're setting these jobs up and you're looking at stuff and you're having jobs, how much of your time goes into saying, hey, I can do that on that laser, or I can do it this other way on something.
Well, it's one of those, like, our shop was designed all on that laser. So 90% of everything we do goes on it.
Now, no shit.
My biggest time is nesting, say we have 200 jobs, picking out everything that's, 3/16 thick carbon.
Okay.
Or everything that's 1/8 inch carbon, and trying to nest them in those sheets.
Yeah.
Because, that's where our time is. Now, on my machines, I set them up with macros.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's run. I run everything through a macro. If I'm doing 1, if I'm doing 1,000, the reason being is on mine, I've got it set up to where, hey, you do X amount of parts in X amount of parts in Y. Here's your spacing on X. Here's your spacing on Y.
I got you.
Here's where to start.
Okay.
And so I run everything through that macro, and just tell it how many I want, unless it's something that's, like S-shaped or, curvy,
Oh, yeah. I got you.
And that was, our biggest salesman, they'd come in trying to sell software. And it's just like the AutoCAD thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of those, like, yeah, it's great that you have a software that looks at it and scans it and it cuts it right there. But golly, that takes 5 minutes. I can do that in 20 seconds. Why the fuck am I doing it? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those.
Well, that's something I guess, and I don't know how much.
Which I'm a jigger.
Yeah.
I didn't see. Yeah.
We know.
It's one of those, like, I jig everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, on my little laser, I was etching some little pieces like that. And I just made me a clamp that was just that big and it fell in. So mine would move out of the way, come back, etch it, and then move here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd pull it out, hit start again, and it'd do the same thing.
I got
and that's what I would do on those beard combs.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Changing setups, you just, and tell it why 6 or why.
Oh yeah, and then slay them out. Yep.
Get it out the way.
That was my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then of course on my laser, I got the camera. I can actually go in there, and once I get the camera calibrated right, I can go in there and take a piece of paper and put it down and have it do, because I can do layers. So I can go in there and say the beer comb is, let's say 4 inches by 3 inches. I can go in there and do on one layer 12 4x3 squares with a certain amount of spacing, and then have it burn it on that piece of paper, then go drop the combs on there, and then go back and push, and it's going to go through and cut all of them at one fucking time. Now the problem is setup. And this is where you run into oversimplificating something.
And I was about to say, like, my biggest problem with when you do multiple is if one moves, they're all fucked up.
Yep.
And so I'm one of those, like, I'm going to do one part at a time. And I'm not going to gain on speed, except it doesn't move. The machine doesn't travel. So, as soon as it stops, I pull it out. I'm going to the next one.
Well,
There's
see,
no
that's
travel time.
and that's something I have to look at because I do a lot in the garage when I'm lasering. The other thing I have to is even though this laser is not 20 times more powerful than my other laser,
right?
I've seen video after video
catching on fire
of this motherfucker catching shit on fire. Where not saying I didn't see videos of the other one because I didn't look.
Yeah.
I used to leave this other laser. I'd put 12-hour jobs on that bitch and walk out the garage and go. And I've done it overnight. Didn't even think about it. And now I get this big laser and you get in all the laser groups because this one has more following and background and people that interact with it. I mean, it's got it's a badass laser. And I'm sitting here and I'm seeing this. Well, I can't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
And, you show the kids where the fire extinguisher is and all that other shit. And it's like, hey, if the bitch is burning, spray
it and unplug it. Yeah.
Make sure you spray just it. Don't spray the shit on the left and don't spray the shit on the right. But man, it's weird how much technology has helped us create shit in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So outside of the laser, what else do you have at your shop that's unique?
Well, I've got press brakes. I've got tubing benders, like pipe benders. I've got like for doing roll cages, you can actually program them, just like you would like
electronic
rails.
Oh no shit.
They're CNC. Yeah, it's one of those. I did a full roll cage on a razor before they got popular.
Oh,
dude was racing it, and he's like, "This is what I want. Can you make it happen?" I was like, "Yeah, shit." And so, it's one of those. It's whatever you want it to be. That's any CNC machine,
And that's the whole thing with G code, and that's what I like about this one. It has a program that I understand, and
biggest thing people don't understand is machines. They're only going to do what you tell them.
X, Y, and Z.
So if you fuck up, it's going to fuck up. You're not going to say, and it's whatever you tell them. And that's like, at the house, I've got the printers and the, those. I'll run jobs where they take a week. Like I did lampshade.
I seen that.
Yeah. And it's one of those, I wasn't worried about it. Now, one of them fucked up because, I Afro engineer a lot and PEC tubing fell out. And I just kind of paused it, slid it back up and hope for the best. Next day I come, there's a big mess.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those, they're only going to do what you tell them.
Yeah. And calibration factor and taking care of your shit. And I'm reading that a lot about my laser, like cleaning the lens often.
I disagree with that 100%.
Because I've never cleaned my lens in my other one.
And that's the thing is, with the hobby lasers versus big lasers. Okay. The way they tell you to clean your lens is take alcohol and put it on the lens and then microfiber and clean it, right?
Correct.
Okay. The problem with that is those lenses are coated.
Yep.
And so you're taking off X amount of that
the
coating
finish.
as much, my brother, he made eyeglasses.
Yeah.
And the first time he saw me doing that, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "I'm cleaning the lens. It's what you're supposed to do." He's like, "That's not what I would do." And I was like, "Well, shit, what would you do?" And he's like, "Dawn dish soap." And I was like, "Why?" Shit. And he's like, "Well, it's not abrasive." I was like, "Yeah, you got a point."
Yeah.
So that, and usually a microfiber rag, but fine.
I wonder if they have a finish that you can put back on.
Well, on my lenses, they were, arsenic coated.
Okay.
So it's one of those, you couldn't even touch them, but barehanded.
Yeah.
Now, there's companies that, make nothing but optics.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm sure we can figure out what that is.
I have not had a problem yet. My problem.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is, but I don't agree with cleaning it over all the time. I think that's a huge problem. And it's designed obsolescence and you're helping.
Yeah.
It's
you're wear and tear.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And now that I have that air assist on there, it's going to help a lot with that because it blows it out. Yeah. It's not made for that, but it keeps it away. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, a lot of other people, and especially I'm sure on your laser, you have a ventilation system that pulls. No?
I'm supposed to.
Well, that's something I've seen on a lot of people.
Well-
and it's because they do their shit a lot in the basement type shit.
Mhm.
And I probably should. That's one reason why my wife was willing to move. I tell everybody I kicked my wife out of my garage with her little cup turning
Yeah.
thing she had going on. In reality, she wanted out of my garage because I have too much particulates in the air.
Uh-huh.
And I've never worried about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm going to saw something, sand something,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it outside.
Yeah.
But I still don't worry. But I do. I have particulates all throughout. That's something in a garage like this that I can't control.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We smoke cigars in here.
Yeah.
We play poker in here. We do all this shit. But that laser as well puts off noxious fumes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When it goes to cutting boards and shit, it's putting off all kinds of particulates.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people have a vac system that pulls that shit off. And I've thought about it, especially because we're planning on building this next year.
Yeah.
And when I design mine, because that's something when you're actually building, there's a lot of things.
What you want, not what you have to.
That's right. There's a lot of things you
Uh-huh.
can, like, if anyone looks at when you, and then they do, when I go live and shit, people look at my garage all the time because right above you is a 360 camera that spins. But I don't have anything on my walls. That's the actual beams of the wall. And I've always liked it because it gives me more room to stick shit.
Well, and it's rustic.
It's rustic looking to me.
Yeah.
But when I designed the new garage, I'm not going to go with that. But what I am going to go with, there's going to be Cat 6 running through these walls. There's going to be airlines running through these walls. And there's going to be hoses running through these lines so I can have porch anywhere I want to. Because I actually seen a really cool thing where basically they did a strip all the way around. And that's the whole strip was just for that. Not up here, not down here. And you can come off that strip and do whatever you want. But that strip had conductors.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. My brother helped me actually lay this garage out.
Yeah.
And my brother is anal as fuck when it comes to electricity. So that wall has its own breaker. This wall has its own breaker. That wall has its own breaker. The lights have their own breaker. There's 2 plugs over here that each one of them has its own breaker because at one point in time I had a freezer and an icebox right there. And he breaker the fuck out of it. But in reality though, if you have breaker space in your breaker box, so you can add one.
Use them. Yeah.
Breakers are cheap.
Yeah, use it.
I mean, you're just talking about wire, which sometimes, I mean, I got all my Romex free when we did this because it would come from him.
Yeah.
So I'm not bitching. I could still I could do more lighting, but I got lighting. I got accent lighting everywhere. And now I'm doing all LEDs. Like if you can't see, I got this here and there.
I was about to say, the funny thing is because technology is continuously moving forward. I mean, everything used to what I'd wire in, 2 days. I can wire in 15 minutes with an LED system. You know? And it do a lot more.
Oh, yeah. And the control, because like everything now I have is controlled through Google.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, when the new house, when we're building, I've already got budgeted in. Every one of my switches is going to be controllable. And when I pull up and I was doing a podcast stream and I'd hit the button on Spotify to pick the big TV up here behind us to play. And cause I was going to put the back cam on.
Right.
And when they seen me hit that button, they seen all the devices that I could, they're like, what the fuck do you got going on, Clyde? And I have a lot of devices. Every one of my TVs has a Google Chrome system on it. And every one of my sound bars has a Google Music. I don't think they sell the Google Music anymore, but it's basically like the Chromecast pod, but it's for music.
Yeah.
It's just for music.
Yeah.
But what that allowed me to do, because at one point in time, Google allowed you to make TVs music devices.
Yeah.
Then they went away with it. And I couldn't put TVs in groups. And then, so I had to buy all those little pucks just for my sound bars because I had to decide, do I want my sound bar to be just for TV or do I want my sound bar to be for TV and music? Because I want to be able to you walk through this whole area, this whole fucking lot of land and have the same music playing at the same time. Don't get me wrong. It cost me probably over $100.
Oh yeah.
But I did it.
Those,
and then they come back and they let you do it again. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. All right.
Exactly. I did, when we lived in Lindale, I actually had Wi-Fi that was worth a piss.
Yeah.
And, my whole aquaponics setup was all through Alexa.
Yeah.
I mean, I can turn on lights.
She's over there in that
grow
drawer. I
beds.
don't trust Alexa.
Well, it's one of those. She's an expensive bitch. But it's one of those. I did the same thing. Now, when we moved out here, I don't have.
Have you tried Starlink?
I've been on the waiting list since April last year.
They pulled my card.
Oh, did they?
They did, but I don't need them yet.
Mine's still open, so it said I'm supposed to get mine mid to late 22. So I'm still.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah. But it's one of those. As soon as we get that, then I think it'll be.
I wish I could sell them because I could sell the shit out of my card.
Yeah,
I could sell the shit out of my card. And I got on the list early on, and the what I wanted it for, and I'm still willing. If
mobile.
I want mobile,
and they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that. If I don't give a fuck about the price.
Well, and what trips me out is, it's satellite based, right?
No, he can do mobile. He's just not ready.
Well, what I'm saying is I read somewhere that the Apple phone next year is going to be a satellite phone.
What?
Yeah, supposedly the Apple phone.
But through who?
It's going to be through Apple. It's satellite.
There's no fucking way that can happen.
They were saying, but shit. It's not like they couldn't use Bezos or fucking Musk.
No, it could.
Somebody used
that could happen, but the money from the phones goes through the carriers, which is Verizon or AT&T.
And that's what I'm saying is, but if you pay a subscription direct to
Apple, I'd do it right now.
That's what I'm saying, and it's one of those. I heard that.
Do you think Apple dropped their dick like that?
I do. I think it's.
Do you really?
Well, and the reason being is that all these people have bought out this and this and this.
Well, it takes the trunk lines because that's where the sport's at.
Exactly. So how do you get away from it? Go completely away from it.
Oh yeah, satellites.
And
who do you think they're going to go through? You think they're going through Elon?
No, I think they're going to go through Bezos, and I think that's where he's going to get his jump. Well, he's been behind Musk and all that.
I know.
And the thing a lot of people don't realize is there's like 8 big companies doing that all at the same time.
But you only hear about
2.
Right.
And it's one of those, I think that's how Bezos is going to get capital, and him send his little dick pic to fucking Musk, like, I did this.
Hey, I'm digging it.
But honestly, that's
look, I'm an Elon fan. Yeah. I'll put the fanboy t-shirt on. Okay. I talk about him a lot because he's making the right decisions in my book. But at the same point in time, I'm all for competition.
Well,
I'm 100% for competition.
My thing is it's not fair to me, and it's just not fair because it's like these 2 fucking playboys getting all to do whatever the fuck they want, and at the other one.
What 2 playboys?
Musk and Bezos.
I thought you meant those 2 were competing against somebody else.
Those 2 are always competing against each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Always. And it's like, you little lucky fucks.
That could be you.
No, it couldn't.
It could have been.
Oh, no. Because the first time I get talking about, I got this idea for a train that goes really, really fast, they're going to be like, and it's underground, they're going to be like, that's fucking Subway.
But see, that's to me, that's the uniqueness of Elon, is that he didn't come out and say, hey, look, I got this idea for a train. He fucking built a boring machine first and drilled holes in the ground and then said, hey, this is what we're going to do with this. Exactly. And people are like, hold on, that's you drilled this big ass fucking hole in the ground. But it's supposedly having issues that everybody's talking about that doesn't seem like fucking issues to me.
Well, and that's the thing is, any nitpicking they can do, they're going to do.
Oh, they're getting on his ass right now.
And that's the
But
thing
he's taking it so well.
Well, because he's already sees 3 plays ahead. He's so far ahead.
What I like about Elon the most is that he got successful. And I'm not saying I'm successful at all, but if I ever got successful, because we play that game in our brain.
Oh yeah.
If I won the lottery tomorrow, or I invented something, if I did something extreme and I was a billionaire or $100 million.
Yeah.
The amount of toys I want to buy.
Oh yeah. I'd have it depleted.
It's completed quick. I mean, you're really talking, honestly, you can give me $5 million and I can buy every toy that I ever wanted quickly. The rest of my money, I can spend it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I can't spend it, but I would build shit. And that's what Elon did.
Yeah.
Elon he got money through PayPal and what was that other company? PayPal and shit. I forget what the other company name was, but he got money and he turned around and he's like, okay, I'm rich. What do I do with this?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Well, I'm going to do what I want to. I'm going to build. I'm going to design. Right. I'm going to keep going.
He looked at the big problems and don't get me wrong. Everybody makes dumb decisions, but he's made decision after decision that I've looked at and thought, man, you know what?
I would have done the same thing.
I'd done the same shit. And I wish I had the foresight. And don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from dude. Dude's smart as fuck.
No, yeah, he is.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You ain't gonna get anything out of bad on me.
I want to say I wouldn't name my kid AX on or some shit, but I won't be honest with you. I'm not going to tell you I wouldn't do that. I named one after fucking Hawk and Galick.
Well, see, I named my kid after the TV show Castle. You know what I mean? So I mean,
TV show Castle.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good.
How did you get that by your wife?
Huh? Well, it was one of those. She was all, I need a B name. I need a B. And funny thing is, you don't think about how many people you don't like until you're naming a kid. And the funny part was like she was sold on Bridget. And the only thing that was running through my head was Bridget the Midget. I'm thinking,
oh, yeah.
The kid's going to be short and she's going to be,
they don't even know
enough
Bridget
daddy
the Midget
issues. Is. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to create them. And Bridget the Midget 2 is coming to you live.
Man.
And so I was like,
but she could make movies.
Well, yeah. But anyways, I was watching Castle one night and Beckett came on and I was like, hey, Beckett. Beckett's
but it's a good name. And I'm going to be honest with you. Beckett fits your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Just her personality makes you think Beckett, not the character from Castle.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you think about people when you're naming a kid, you think about the people that had the same name.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh no, she's a whore. Fuck that. And it's one of those like you don't realize
and you do
how
it.
that name goes with it.
Yeah. A dad of 7 boys when they walk home
yeah.
and you find out, hey, I got a new girlfriend. Oh yeah, what's her name? Sunshine. Oh, that's not bad. And then they come back the next week. Her name is Star or Champagne. Oh, hold on, look. Are you back on the OnlyFans pages? Back up. Okay.
Yeah, step back.
Yeah, you got to pay for that.
We need real names.
Yeah, quit being like your cousin Jared. Okay, back up.
Exactly.
So,
well, in all fairness, you said girls.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work. We got a cousin that's fucking great. The kid's gonna be smart though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's my favorite one to get in trouble with because he does not shut up.
Oh yeah, but he'll snitch on you quick.
Yeah,
he will snitch on you quick.
He sold everybody out. He sold you out. He sold me out. That's like he sold me out on my fucking hotspot. Because like I said, we got shitty service, so I got a hotspot. So I play Xbox, whatever. Well, Jared, one day he's like, "How are you playing? And the boys play like shit." And I was like, "Well, I got a hotspot." And he's like, "Oh, well, the boys allowed to do it?" Nope, don't fucking tell them. A week later, Taylor's like, "Your boy snitched on you."
Oh man. So the hotspot's good over there though? It's just you're the only one on it.
And it's one of those, I mean, to the 25 gigs or whatever, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But between me, Billy, and Bo, we can use 25 gigs in an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's one of the reasons why we're not found what we want to move yet because I need to see the ley lines to see where the fiber is because
I want 300 quick.
Yes, I need those ley lines. So speaking of that, in your garage, sort of like my garage, what kind of hardware you got in there? What kind of lasers? What kind of engravers? What kind of 3D printers?
All my shop is mainly printers. I got that big Fozone Transform.
Yeah.
Big ass resin printer.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it was introduced faster than I think it should have been. I think they could have stepped up a lot of stuff. I do have 2 Egu Mars printers. Mm-hmm. Those are resin. I love them.
All right. What's your area on those?
What do you mean? It's like 6 by 4 by 8.
Okay.
I mean, it's not huge, but it's one of those. And I mean, that's the thing about a resin printer. If you can print one on an FDM printer, you can print however many you can fit on that bed in the same amount of time. So, and that's why, like, as far as doing a lot of something, shit, resin's the way to go.
No shit.
Now, I mean, it's one of those for me. Now, with the resin, there's a lot more setup. Mm-hmm. You have to, after you do it, you have to wash your parts. I got a big ass ultrasonic, but, and then you have to cure them. Well, okay. But the FDM printer, you pop it off, it's done.
That's mine. I mean, you're supposed to cure it sometimes. You're supposed to heat it up sometimes, or you're supposed to put a coating over it sometimes. And half the time, I don't do none of that shit.
Well, and that's most of the stuff that I 3D print. It's printing to get a model, to get something. It's not going to be a end result part. Now, I say that I've got the stuff to do it. I mean, that's one of the things I like about that resin printer so much because it's ABS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? It can go outside.
Yep.
And so, but I got,
I got shit hung up that I still first
Oh.
printed with my 3D printers.
Well, and that's like you told me when I was coming over, if you got something cool you working on, bring it. And I was like, man, all I got's junk. It's like I've got 9 million of these paint mixers. That the only reason I printed the paint mixers, it had a big gap, and I couldn't get it to bridge.
Yeah.
So once I figured out how to bridge it, I was changing this setting and I was changing this setting. So I got 50 of these things that all I was doing was testing the printer, not anything like that.
Yeah,
But,
just wasting fucking.
oh yeah, it was filament for nothing. But as soon as I figured out how to do those lithophanes, that's when my FDM printers,
stepped up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which my big FDM printer, I've got Hatchbox Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
I wish to God they still made it.
Oh yeah.
By far my favorite printer I have ever bought, and the reason being is it's one of those. The controls are all designed up top. Everything that could go wrong is at the bottom by itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was designed correctly, and they quit making them.
Why? Do you know why?
No, I all I can assume is their, printer was $1,000 when I bought it.
Yeah.
And you had all these rip wraps coming in $200 or $300. At the same time I bought that one, JG Aurora had just came out with the A5 that would do 12 by 12 by 12.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, and it was one of those like, okay, why would I spend $1,000 when I could buy this $500 and it build the exact same thing? The only difference is that one's Delta.
Yep.
Well, it was a design machine. It was a good design.
Yeah.
And it cost more.
Yeah.
Well, most people aren't going to pay.
So do y'all have a 3D printer at work?
No. It's one of those like the reason I got into 3D printing was we were doing a prototype for a plumbing application for Starbucks.
Okay.
It wasn't through us, but it was one of those, they had this idea for coffee ground disposals.
Okay.
And they marketed it at Starbucks. Well, anyways, I had to make some type of model. And it was one of those, I knew if I did it out of metal, it would cost, $2 or $3 grand. And so I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I got a buddy that 3D prints. Let me call him, see if he can do it. And I called him, and he was like, I don't have time for it, but you can do it. It's easy. I'm like, yeah, right. You're just saying that. And
XYZ, bro.
Well, and so I got on, and I actually got my first one off Amazon. It was that JG Aurora A5.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, the first print, I got it out and I'm thinking, oh, this is cool. I'm going to set it down, hit a button, and it's going to print. I'm going to walk away. Everything's great.
It's not that simple.
It's not. And it's one of those. So first print, it doesn't stick. It's going everywhere. I stop it and I'm calling Mitchell and I'm like, hey, buddy, what do I do?
Yeah,
He goes, well, slow it down and retry. You got to zero it. I'm like, what do you mean zero it? I mean,
you didn't zero at the beginning?
Well, I zeroed it from the starting point. I didn't zero the whole bed. I mean, it's one of those, it's on springs. Figure itself out.
Yeah.
And so I zeroed it the second time, and then I got my first one. Was like, yeah, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
And so I took off with it. By 2 days later, I had the little prototype. It threaded together, snapped in. Everything worked awesome.
Did they like it?
I don't know. It was one of those. I did my part. I gave it to the boss. He sent it off. They paid me. I was happy.
So they bought your first printer?
No, they did not buy. They kind of bought my second one. My second printer, my dad was actually involved in. We were building a refractory mold, which is high heat concrete.
Yes.
And we were building it for a burner, and the burner was about 14 inches by 10 high. And my dad's like, hey, if you can build the refractory mold, whatever money it cost, we can do it out of plastic and then we can reuse it. I was like, yeah, I guess we could. And that's when I bought that Hatchbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I looked at the price tag on it and I was like, well, shit, this is a 3-part mold that slides together and there's, 3 different sections. I'm going to need more than the printer I got.
Yeah.
It's going to take forever. So I ordered that Hatchbox and got it set up. And that one, it was off to the races.
Yeah.
That when you get that machine that you and it are in sync.
That's right.
You just kind of follow through. I did that. It paid for the whole machine and about $200 or $300 filament after, you know, I mean, it was
Oh, no
awesome.
shit.
So it was one of those, I didn't pay for that machine. And
It's still your favorite.
oh, still my favorite by far. And it's one of those, like, it's so damn dependable. It's, you know, I run the Octoprint on all, or the Pi on all mine.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, like, I did that for the A5. I was having a heating issue. And when I was able to look at the graph, I was like, oh, well, there's the problem. Duh.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, they're what, $100 to.
Oh, less than $100 if you want to.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is $100 if you buy it from them.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
so I've built all mine, and mine's been.
I bought one and I built the rest.
Mine's always been a Pi I had in the house at the time, and then just a fucking Logitech fucking
camera.
web camera, and I'm in business. And don't get me wrong, I bought an Octopi. Excuse me, I didn't buy an Octopi. I bought a Pi camera, and I didn't even use it. I stayed with my Logitech camera. That's why I got so many. Half of these cameras are from fucking Octopis, but that's what I'm trying to. I'm running. Lightburn on my laser now, and it has an official camera that comes that you buy separately. And I bought the camera. I did buy the program, Lightburn program, and then I bought a stand. But the other thing that goes in that is that it doesn't have Octopi.
Right.
I almost reprogrammed Octopi to attach to it to run through Lightburn because I know there's a way to do it, and I'm pretty sure I can make it happen. Except for the main thing that I use Octopi for is printing when I'm not here.
Yeah. Being able to look at it out.
I can't do that with that laser.
Yeah.
Because that fucker will burn the garage down. So that is the exact reason why I'm not running Octopi on that laser, is because I don't want the ability to say, I'll watch it while I go down the road. If it catches on fire,
I'll stop it. Yeah.
I'll call somebody. Not while my garage is burning. But it's nice. I mean, tinkering like me and you tinker with technology is something that I'm sure people 100 years ago wish they would have had.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to have an idea, throw it in CAD, and minutes later be able to have a physical part in your hand makes I mean, I use my laser so fucking. There's nothing we don't have that's wood or plastic that has not had a logo or a name or Hayes Clan on it or something. And then now this one does stainless steel. You don't put me on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Okay. So my wife's lucky that the Tahoe does not have that mounted to the hood right now.
Yeah.
Because I can put a big logo on that hood. Fuck paint.
Yeah.
Now we got she's got a Cricut. I mean, there's so much we can do.
That's the new toy I've been playing with.
Yeah, because you got a Cricut, right?
I took Chelsea's away from her because she wasn't using it, and I was paying for that Cricut space. I was like, "Look, you're not going to use it. I want to play with it."
Yeah.
Well, shit. I mean, the first thing I did was put a big ass spider web on my fridge. And, you know
I know.
I mean, I needed it. So
I need a lot, but I don't do it. And the reason I don't do it, I feel like I'm encroaching. Because like this is all my shit. When she wants something done, she comes out here. When I want a sticker, I ask for it 45 times, and eventually she gets me a sticker.
Yeah, and I don't like that because it's one of those, you know, on my end, I heard you. You don't have to ask 50 more times. I'm still gonna do it. It's just when I get to it.
See, I don't have that. When my wife wants something done, I normally work my hardest to get it knocked out. She will get it done.
Well, and that's my biggest
differently
fear is like Chelsea's learned now that necessarily if she asks and I doesn't do it, she can go hire somebody or do something. Well, the problem is they usually fuck something up. It's like, man, why did you do that? Why?
Ask me one more time to do it, man. So
she's gonna murder me after.
That's okay. This. So you're 32.
Yep.
You got at least 20 to 40 more years left in you. Do you ever see yourself starting your own shop?
Nope.
Why?
Well, because about 4 years ago, I was asked if I wanted to buy the company, and I put some really, really serious thought into it and thought I was going to for a while. And it got to a point where it was like, why am I buying me?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds arrogant. And,
no. That's why.
But it was one of those like, why am I going to buy what I work for? You know, I mean, it didn't make sense. Me and the owner have talked multiple times, and he's like, if I ever pass or anything like that, you're getting the shop. Like, well, okay.
But what I'm saying is, okay.
Well,
let me back
and
up.
It's one of those like I don't think operations would change.
So that's what I'm really getting at.
No, and
Is
that's
there
what I'm
any
saying.
roads that you would go down that you don't have the option to go down right now?
No,
Or is
and
there
it's-
anything you see like, I really think that I could make a change or an impact in this area with this kind of technology or this ability?
That's a good question. I mean, my thing is, like I said, I'm ADD.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like I'm
You're perfect. A perfect employee.
15 minutes later, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, because some
Well,
people like into muscle cars
yeah,
and
I think, and that's my thing is like
exoskeletons.
the automotive industry. It's played out. It phases. It's like oil field, if
Yes.
you will. It's going to be big, and then they hit on this topic, and then 30 years later, you're going to be doing the same shit.
Yep.
But it's one of those that doesn't stay. If I'm going to design something, do something, whatever, I'm going to do something that is
Consistent.
continuous.
Yeah.
Continuous. And that's honestly why I like the plumbing stuff we do. Because guess what? People shit every day.
Yeah.
There's going to be something to do.
Yes.
So that's my mindset is I'm going to look for something that's daily. But, in the fabrication shop, we've had multiple people come up to us with these revolutionary ideas.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen 5 or 6 that I swear to God, if they would have ever made it, that they would be done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those, they
Do you
didn't
see
make
yourself
it.
doing that?
Yes, and it's one of those I don't know what it's going to be yet, and I'm sure it's going to be something, say elementary technology. And,
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by that is,
No, I get it.
people overcomplicate everything.
Yes.
The ideas that make it are simple or stupid.
A better
it's-
mousetrap.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
one of those why redesign, just make it better.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I'd capitalize.
Hey, that's a big deal, man. Because I
Well-
mean, that's what I was really trying to get at. Is I mean, where do you see yourself in 20 to 30 years?
Hopefully retired.
Retired? Do you really think you'll retire?
No.
What would you do if you retired? Because I've thought about this.
Yeah, see, I have too. I know me. I can't retire. That's like this last week I was on COVID watch. Couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
I was Monday. I watched as many movies as I could. Tuesday, I was looking for shit to do. Wednesday, I went to the plumbing store, bought some shit because we had these 8-foot standpipes that we make.
Yeah.
At work. And it was like, well, fuck, nobody at work wants to build them. I'll build them at the house.
Yeah.
And so right now in the back of my truck, there's 5 80-inch standpipes that, I was bored and needed something to do, which I did get a nicer, bigger drill press out of the deal.
Oh, did you?
Well, Chelsea's like,
how big of a drill press? Because mine, I bought one.
It's-
It's not working very well.
oh, shit. The one I bought was the second biggest one they had at Harbor Freight.
I don't
It
know
looks damn near like a mill.
how much it costs.
$400.
Yeah, it's a lot better than I got. I got the
Well, see,
$90 one.
And that's I have a tabletop, and I was sitting there like 3-inch Schedule 80 pipe. No, I need a bigger one. And Chelsea come in and she's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's a drill press I bought." She goes, "You bought a machine so you could work at the house?"
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
So I did something similar. I wanted to make ashtrays.
Right.
So I go online and I think I find me a bit that will
Cut
actually
through glass. Yeah.
wood.
Oh, I got you.
And I wanted to cut 4-inch circles.
Right.
Straight in, pull out, throw it on the laser, and make some badass cigar ashtrays. Well, I go to Lowe's and they got a set
Right.
of bits. I buy the whole set.
Uh-huh.
Get home, the biggest one in there is 2 inches.
Uh-huh.
So I jump on Amazon. I buy just the 4-inch bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get home, think I'm going to put it on my drill.
And it said, ha ha.
Yeah, it like to broke my fucking arm and everything else. So the wife's going to Tyler. I look on Harbor Freight. They got a drill press for $90.
Yep.
I told her pick it up.
Yep.
She picks it up. It won't stay in the damn chuck. The bit will not stay in the chuck. And I've tightened it. I've done all kinds of shit. I got,
Flatten it?
huh?
Did you flatten one of the sides?
No.
I do that because if it's trying to spin out,
It won't stay tight.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It spins loose
Yeah.
and then gets looser.
Yeah.
If you flatten, like take bench sander.
Oh, yeah, I got
grind it flat.
No shit, I'm going to try it.
That's what we do.
Because I mean,
at
that's the
work.
only thing I bought it for.
That's what we do at work all the damn time.
Because that fucker, I was going to take some old wood,
Yeah.
drill some holes in it,
Yeah.
and then I bought a bit for my router, and I was going to do the actual place you put the cigar, and I was going to, I was going to stain that bitch, throw it on the laser, and engrave it, and give them out for Yule gifts to everybody.
Yeah.
And I made one. It's somewhere around here, but it's a fucking big old piece of 2x6, and it's got holes in. I mean, don't get me wrong. Last poker game, it got used the fuck out of.
Right.
But it's not pretty.
Well, and that's like, you know, I had one that my granddad gave me, and it was this big square green glass. I mean, it was awesome. Well, one day I was doing something in the attic. I came down, I hit the table, ashtray hit the ground, and went in a million pieces. So I'm cheap ass. I'm not going to go to the store and get an ashtray.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing that, but we'll get there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to print one. And the first one I printed was about...
3D print?
Yeah, I printed
Oh,
it was
shit.
about 3 inches. And I did a real high stand and split it, you know, and it works. Chelsea uses it all the time. I don't. I'm one of those, like, I like to push the ashtray. And
yeah, you're going to push that.
Hey, I want to light it on fire.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Because PLA burns.
Well, thank God this was ABS. It just stinks when it burns.
Oh, yeah.
But
you like cigars?
Yeah. You will see. And that's the thing is, after going to Mexico, I quit smoking cigars.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Well, after you have real Cubans, it's kind of pointless.
You don't want, I bought some the other day. You want to try one?
I love them. I mean,
because I need another drink.
Yeah.
And I bought cigars just because I knew you were coming over here. Yeah. So you wouldn't start another business. Nope. But do you have an ideal right now?
I'm actually working with a guy. He came up with this tool that marks conduit for the electrical industry.
Yeah.
Marks conduit. That's all it does. But it's a simple tool. There's a lot of stuff we've been reprinting, design for the last 3 years. And I think he's actually going to make something with it. And it's one of those, this is going to be a 50-50 deal.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I want some mailbox money. Everybody can use
mailbox money. Is great, man. Mailbox money is fucking exceptional.
Well, and I hadn't had it before, so I think it'd be nice to have.
I had it for a little while when I was doing social media. You basically set these clients up.
Oh, shit.
Damn it, boy. Hit that mic hard.
I did.
You set these clients up, and it's a recurring income. And that's the thing and that's where subscriptions, especially like if you're doing websites or something like that.
Yeah.
Setting that up. Pull that mic down just a little bit to your left. A little bit more. There you go, right there. Just get a little bit more of your pretty face.
That's what it is.
But that recurring income is fucking exceptional, man. And doing what you do, you should have more of it.
Well, and that's, my biggest problem is I know how to do it all as far as that goes. But the coming up with the idea that's going to do it, because I want something turnkey. I want something that it's basically, why the heck didn't anybody think of this?
Yeah.
And that's why I hadn't done it yet.
So you've not had any failures, though?
Yeah, we've had a bunch of failures.
No, I'm talking about you personally.
No, I haven't. But I've also not stuck my neck out for much. It's one of those, like, if it's not going to make it, I'm going to tell you right then. That's like, honestly, this idea that I'm telling you, the guy's been working on it 3 years. When he finally showed me what it did, it was like, holy shit! Like this is something.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem we have right now, and this is throughout everything, there's no youth. There's no youth coming up in skilled trades.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this tool was designed for the youth to make them better and not have to do anything. It marks it for them. All they got to do is, it's simple. And it's one of those, when I seen that, it's like, that's the kind of tool, that's the ideas that's going to be, Yeah. You don't have to reinvent. He didn't invent anything. He just came up with a way to market. And it was like, wow.
Well, hey, I'm glad you're getting there, man. Because that's what, when I look at the things you do and hear you tell your stories, a lot of times I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, this dude is going to come out of that garage one day with just this exceptional ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a stamp. You know what? I can give you a little slack, bro.
Oh, you're
I
good.
see your headphones pulling.
Yeah, it's like damn leash.
Yeah, I got it behind this. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, mine's like right there near me. I mean, it don't matter where this is at unless I'm doing some shit like this. Yeah, see,
Yep.
we don't play those unless Wyatt's doing his podcast.
Right.
Wyatt does his every now and then. The first one's about Wolverines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he did it was when it was shit. It was when our sound was complete shit. I've progressed quite a bit with the audio version. I'm still not where I want.
Right.
I mean, there's still layers that I could add to stuff, but I mean, I've spent maybe I don't know, $150
Yeah.
off of setting all this up, and I don't know, have fun with it, man. I like what we're doing right now. We're just talking about shit,
Yeah.
and I enjoy
That.
taking those steps and learning about stuff and having the conversation that we have, because the thing is that there's people out there that do not have that interaction. They do not have that story. They don't have somebody they can sit down with that's a fabricator that they can say, hey man, what the fuck do you do all day?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you sit there and just fucking nerd out at fucking AutoCAD? Do you sit back and design something for 5 minutes and then like, hey boys, throw that shit on the laser and fucking let's get to work. Somebody give me another Dr. Pepper. I mean, I don't, what in your day as a fabricator, how does it go? Do you go to work at the same time? Do you what?
No, this is part of the reason why I've been at Tyler Tool forever is I'm allowed to show up when I want. And I know that sounds shitty. I'm there every day. It's just one of those, I'm not an 8 to 5. I've always found out for my end of fabricating that it works better when you don't have to be on the phone. And what I mean by that is most of the time 8 to 5 is when salesmen, anybody checking on parts, that's when they're going to be there. Guess what? You can't do a fucking thing while you're on the phone.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you can't. And so it's one of those, I usually come in about 10 o'clock. And when I come in 10 o'clock, first thing I do is invoice everything that we have ready. We invoice that, it goes out, I'll go back to the laser, and I use a program called Conceptual Mind Maps.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I know exactly what
It's
Conceptual Mind Maps is.
Odessa. It's the best program for me. The reason being is that's what I do all my POs off of. Because I have 5 different shops. It allows me to separate them, but still have access, quickly go through them, figure out what POs where. And so, I'll take my list and I'll pick, 10 things that are hot, whatever they've been calling about. I'll get those 10 things nested and start cutting those. While those are cutting, I'm checking on this, trying to fix that, whatever. When they get done, I'll usually bend them and then send them to the welders.
Yeah.
Once it goes to welding, go ahead.
How many guys you got working there?
There's 14 right now.
Oh, no shit.
Well, see, we had 55 employees, and we found out real quick that with 55 people, there's a lot of micromanaging.
Yep.
And guess what? Micromanaging doesn't do shit. They cost.
Yeah.
But they don't do shit. So we went down to 20 employees about 3 years ago, and we make a lot more money.
Yeah.
We're able to take care of those 20 people like they should have been instead of when it was 50, 55 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those, we're not designed to be a big business.
Sounds like your boss has got his head on right.
He kind of just throws it in my shoulders. That's one thing about him. He's a salesman. He is our sales.
Yeah.
He's a cocksucker. And I say that
Say
politely.
that with love. Yeah.
No, yeah, complete. It's one of those, without sales, you can't do anything. You don't have anything built. And he is one of those old school, he's an old school salesman. Today, you're like, oh, I'm a salesman. Oh, yeah? What are you selling me? Well, this product that I might,
Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
They're not good salesmen. This dude, you're his friend because he puts a trance on you and you're like, fuck, I gotta buy from him now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's awesome at it, and that's what he does. Since he does that, he doesn't do much on the business aspect. Now, he does drive a truck a lot and goes and picks up this and, does damage control. But for,
anybody that's overused probably has a lot of damage control.
Oh, yeah. Full-time job. Well, it's one of those, like, you don't want to see the boss doing nothing because then you think that everybody should do nothing. So.
That's so fucking true.
But no, he's awesome. He's an asshole, like I said, because he has that natural salesmanship bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those, like, if you ever think about it, you know, you meet salesmen and usually immediately
Not a
it's
mix.
either
Nope.
there's not he's kind of. No, this asshole, it doesn't matter who he meets, and he's half Japanese, so he looks like a fancy Mexican, and he fits in with anybody. Like the other day, we had a customer, they were from Greece,
Yeah.
and the dude thought he was Greek. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's a fucking mutt.
Oh
Times
man.
57.
But he's making the sales. That's what matters.
Oh, yeah. And
Bringing
it's
the
one of
money
those,
in.
like, the guy, natural buddy, you know, makes it work. And that's not me. Like, I can't stand the sales part. I'm one of those, like, you want the damn job? Let's do the fucking job. You don't want it? Fuck off.
Fuck off.
And the problem is you can't be like that.
No, you can't be.
They
That's
don't
not where the
like it.
money comes from.
No. And first time you tell somebody fuck off, they remember that. So
No, that
Yeah.
normally happens with business. So where you see yourself in 5 years? Same place? Doing the same thing?
Definitely doing the same thing. I do think in the next 5 years that you know, everything we do at the shop is to make it better for next time.
Okay.
And so, you know, I mean, we invest correctly in our machines, in our upkeep, you know, staying up to date with what we got.
Yeah.
You know, and it's simple stuff. It's not you know, we don't buy the newest machines.
Yeah.
We buy the best components for that machine. For instance, you know, about 3 years ago, we never spent money on our drill bits, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah?
You know, it was one of those, like, we would buy the size, but let's just get the cheap one. That's what mattered.
It didn't last long.
Well, and it's one of those, everything or 90% of what we machine is cast iron. So
Mhm.
it's nasty. It's stuff that nobody wants to fuck with.
Yeah.
That's why we get it. Well, I had a tool salesman, and he's like, hey, I can drill that hole in 4 seconds. And I look at him, and I'm like, no, you can't. And he goes, yeah, I can. I was like, no, you're going to fuck something up. He goes, how about this? He goes, this drill bit I want to sell you is $280.
Yeah.
If I fuck it up, I'll buy it. If not, you buy it. I was like, all right, cool. So I had a job come in, and it was this big 4-inch block of metal that we had to put an 18-inch circle bolt hole flange in. And there's 30-something holes in this, and he goes, I'm going to do 4 seconds a hole. You're going to fuck something up. And he goes, put this in, program this, do this. This is what your feeds need to be. This is your speed of your spindle. Hit go. I hit go. That machine went bow, bow, bow. Just, I mean, the cleanest, prettiest holes. He's like, what do you think? I'm like,
I want 5.
Shit. Yeah. It was like, give me some. So, you know. I mean,
how much were they a bit?
They were like $280 was the bit, but we had to buy the $16 or $1,600 tool holder and the through spindle. Yeah, but I mean, it was one of those.
But it's paid itself off.
That one part paid for all the tooling.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
that's a smart
so
move.
I had 20 of them. So after that, I mean, it was gravy.
Yeah.
You know, time.
Yeah,
but and that's, you know, I mean, I on the sales stuff, I think that's a shitty living. And where I mean by that, it's not shitty, but it's one of those, like, it's free, man. You're on somebody else's dime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're on somebody else's labor. That's what you're selling.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the machine side, it's one of those, like, we're honest. It's one of those time and material. That's all we sell. You know, it's time and the material. And that's what it is. And so, you know, that's part of the reason why I enjoy my job, is because I don't go to home worrying about something. I don't overcharge, you know, I mean, it's even. So there's no loss of sleep. There's no, you know, no shitty feelings. And it's one of those, you know, I've gotten to where now it's, hey, you're too high on this. Well, I'm going to do it the way that's right. If that guy doesn't, and you bring it to fix for me to fix, then I'm going to charge you to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's one of those, and that's a problem, you know, but I'm okay with it.
A lot of people, I mean, look at Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I can buy all kinds of shit off Amazon, cheap as shit.
And the funny thing is, you know, I mean, that's something we've always been real good at, is we take things, instead of trying to build the whole unit, we'll take pieces. And that's like, because we do the plumbing, you know, a lot of the stuff I use is food grade kitchen stuff.
Oh,
like
shit.
Bain Marie's. If you know what that is.
I do.
Yeah, like I use Bain Marie's to make bodies because I can buy that Bain Marie for $3 or $4
Mhm.
and then put the flange on the bottom and a ring up top. And hey, it's the same fucking body you wanted, but it was a hell of a lot cheaper, you know? So, I mean, it's one of those, we've advanced with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what I love what I do as far as that
I can
goes.
tell. And I've always told that about you. I mean,
Yeah.
you enjoy what you do.
Well, and it's one of those like it's been the only job I've had my whole life on paper.
On paper.
On paper.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like you know, I know what it is. I don't have it's second nature.
Yeah.
And I like it, you know. I mean,
so you were talking about being the band major earlier. Do you play any instruments?
No, I do not.
Besides the flute. I mean
the skin flute.
The trombone. What was it? The trumpet? The trumpet. Besides the trumpet.
No, and that's the thing is, you know, I had a trumpet my mom bought me when I was in 6th grade. And I have no clue where it's at. I'm sure it's at her house. And I'm sure one day it'll resurface.
It's probably going to have to resurface one of these kids. Because I had to go get a saxophone for my granddaddy.
My mom played sax and so did my brother.
I don't know shit.
So it was
I'm glad to know that now. Next time me and your mom's drinking, I'm pulling out that sax.
She's alto. So, yeah.
Because I've never heard anybody in person besides at a blues band play a good sax. And I have a good sax.
Well, the funny part about it is, you know, I was on brass and all my family was woodwind, you know, saxophone, stuff like that. And not taken away from anything, but, you know, any band you see in your youth, you know, marching band, whatever, girls play woodwinds, guys play brass. It's just the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, when my brother played the saxophone and he was telling me one day, he goes, yep, my lips, with my lips. And I'm like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, you played the
did you put it in your mouth? Did you?
Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to give them hell. That's what those are for.
Well, and he's my older brother.
And any jab you can get, you got to take it.
Well, and it's one of those, you know, I mean, I was little, being a kid. He was the big, you know, he was always overweight, bigger. And so I was the test punch dummy, you know. I mean, so now anything I can get in, it's like bazinga.
So I also heard at one point in time you were a pretty decent soccer player.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
I gained a bunch of weight. And,
you can't run for shit.
Yeah, it's one of those. I started smoking, and all of a sudden, that's all I got.
Did you have any of that with COVID? Because like I'm hearing a lot of people.
You know, the funny part was, and I told my dad that this morning, is I got COVID. I, for one day, felt like I had flu symptoms.
Yeah.
Like my body ached. I felt like dog shit. I mean, it was the flu. I had the runs. Sorry about that. But next day, I woke up. I farted and didn't shit myself. I told Chelsea, I said, I'm good. You know, I mean, the
Put
safety.
me back in, coach.
Yeah, we're back in. And so anyways, that night, Billy's like, I'm sick. I'm like, yeah, right. You're not sick. You just don't want to go to school, you lazy fuck.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, I'm sick. Chelsea's like, well, hey, I got those rapids. Let's give him one of those. If it's negative, we'll send him to school. Yeah. Well, fucker passed positive.
Oh,
and
man.
So, you know, me being the chicken shit I am, like, that was inconclusive. Do it again.
Making the kid take that one. You're going to school, punk.
Yeah. So he took it. It was positive. I called my brother. I'm like, hey, man, what do I do? I'm fine. I need to come to work. He's like, no, you need to stay home.
Yeah.
Fuck. So I get my COVID test, and he gets his COVID test. And Wednesday, I call my brother. I'm like, yeah, I should have results. I'll be into work tomorrow. This will be fucking kick ass.
You popped.
I popped positive, and it was like, fuck.
Well, a lot of people that I know that have had really COVID, coming out of COVID, they're having lung
continuous issues.
Yeah. And I mean, I've took one test. I think I've got it at one point in time. I don't know. I've never been sick.
Right.
So, I mean, as much alcohol as I drink, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if I was sick or not. I'm gonna be honest with you most of the time. But it's one of those things is you worry about it a little bit, but especially someone that was in your shape. I was just wondering if it affected your lungs at all.
Honestly, and this is something me and my mom had talked about, is like, you know, I mean, from November till March, my nose is going to be stuffy. I'm going to have a head cold.
Well, that's
it's part of every year in Texas. Get the fuck over it. And so, I didn't know. I had the runs. Okay, that's what I'm sick.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was sick.
Probably could have been something you ate.
Yeah.
I've ate your cheeseburgers before.
I'm telling you, in Taco Bell, it's close to the house, so gotta burn out somehow.
Yeah, my wife's been tearing that new Taco Bell up.
Well, and that's, that's probably the closest restaurant. And, I got 3 shitheads that eat a bite of something and say, oh, I'm full. And it's like, motherfucker, that was $20.
Yeah.
So Taco Bell and me work. Little Caesars and me work well too. It's one of those. I'm not.
Yeah. Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money on food at this house.
Yeah, and so it's like, we did that. And I thought it was something I ate. I was sick, and I guess I was talking to Shelby, and she said, it's because you're fairly athletic. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. When's the last time you ran?
I run like the winded.
Yeah. Didn't y'all do a pickup game or something? You and
Well, it was we got fucked.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was supposed to be a pickup game, and then when we got there, he's like, "No, I need you on the team." And it's like, what?
What team?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, we got 9 games." Fuck. Well, it was my machinist from work, and me and him played, and after that second game, I'm like, "Dude, fuck this." And he's like, no, your body will get used to it.
Your body will get used to it.
And I was like, motherfucker, you've been doing it for 10 years. Your body ain't used to it.
He said you'll get used to it.
Yeah. And he's like, come on, we'll do it.
Do you see yourself going back?
Hell no. No, it's one of
Do you do any workouts? Yeah, lighters.
Oh, well, no, this is remote.
Oh, remotes. Yeah, you're a big gamer. Yeah. What's your favorite game?
Shit, I play FIFA. But
that's it?
Yeah.
Really? That's the only game you play?
Whenever Halo first came out,
yeah,
I played Halo and NCAA like it was going out of style.
But this was when you were what, 12?
17, 18. Yeah. And then it was one of those Modern Warfare came out, and I'd play for a second, I'd get dizzy, so it was like not for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's something. It's the side movement that fucks with me.
So,
and that's like a sports games. You're far enough back.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the whole picture, I guess, and it doesn't move all the time. You know where it's going to move.
So that leads me into a question that I like to ask a lot of people is, where do you see VR and technology going? Because Facebook become meta. I mean,
it's one of those, I see the world developing into a Ready Player One type situation, because that's where it's going.
Oh yeah.
It's like earlier today, I told Becky, I was like, put your fucking phone down. I want to show you something. She's like, what? And I was like, you see that? And it was a raccoon or something that was moving across the yard. And I was like, you would have never seen that because you were on your fucking phone.
No.
And so, I'm kind of partial to that old way of doing, just because there's stuff all over.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've seen you on your tractor.
I'm telling you, sexy motherfucker. Y'all throwing fireworks, asshole.
Definitely throwing fireworks.
Yep.
But so you see us going there, but how's that going to affect you?
I'm not going to go with it.
Why?
Well, it's one of those, like I said, I get dizzy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I think there's enough out in the world. Hey, this is going to sound cheesy, but shit, go outside.
Oh, yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And, I like to fish. I like to hunt,
Are you any good? Did you is there a deer in the freezer right now?
Yes.
Did you shoot it?
No. No. And
let's get to the nuts and bolts of the question.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why there's deer in the freezer and I didn't shoot it, because I can't afford to deer hunt.
What?
Are you serious?
Brother,
man?
I've seen your new tractor.
Yeah. And that's my thing, is I'd rather buy a toy instead of,
spend all the money on the hunting toys.
And it's one of those, like, my cousin, he goes every year, they buy this real fancy lease, and he puts corn out and does all this just to shoot 2, usually day after opening season.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much? And he's like, well, I spent $20,000 on that year. And it's like, fuck. If I'm going to spend that on meat, we want to eat steak.
Yeah. Now, it makes a difference.
Now, I like fish. Now, there's catfish in the fridge. All of it's mine.
Okay. Where are you fishing at?
All that was from the Sabine.
Okay.
We actually go every year in October to Type 2 over by Lindale.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, while they're opening squirrel season, we're usually fishing the river.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, for the last 5 years, I mean, we usually pull at least 40 pounds into fish.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Like this year we caught 2 55-pounders hook by hook. I mean,
damn.
Yeah, same one. And it's one of those, I mean, that's the fun.
Oh yeah. I've got pictures. I've been some mean catfishing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, catfishing, you play in the river. You know, you're not going to be somewhere you can easily get to. It never happens that way.
Not the big ones anyway.
No. And so that's what I like. Now I'll go to Palestine every once in a while and get fucked up, sit on the boat, and you know, let the waves take me. And if I catch, I catch. If not, I had a good time.
I like night catfishing.
Yes, sir.
At the middle of the lake with a boat. You find that little trench right off the dam. And just sit there and drop it in all night long. Oh boy, pull them.
Crappie's the same way.
Oh yeah, my granddaddy shot me out of crappie fish. Man, I still wish that I knew where his spot is on Lake Fort. He took me out there, and we were bass fishing.
Yeah,
top water bass fishing, and I wasn't catching shit. I was rocking the boat, causing problems and everything else. And he turned around. He's like, you know what? I got a solution for your little ass. So he takes me over here to this spot, dude. I'll drop it, pull in, drop it, pull in, drop it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was in excitement. I mean, I was in my world. And then he turns around and won't tell me where it's at. And I mean, my granddaddy, he's in a nursing home now.
Yeah.
And every time I go see him, I'm like, hey, Papa.
Hey, you remember where you took me fishing?
You gonna tell me where that spot is on Lake Fort? And he's like, no, not yet. And I'm like, is this something in the wheel or something, Papa? I mean, is this something I get after you pass?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to go, but I mean, we're talking about crappie fishing. You hear me?
Yeah. Well, see, I was completely spoiled on bass fishing as a kid. My granddad, he had a 40-acre pond he had stocked since the 70s.
Yeah.
So it was one of those every cast 7, 8, 9 pounders.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you know, they'll fuck you up bass fishing.
Yeah, Corey Wayne caught a big ass bass today.
Well, and that's the thing is, you know, when I was about 19 years old, the dam busted. So my honey hole was gone. Man. And it was one of those, like, I'd get in a boat with a buddy of mine, and he's like, we're going bass fishing. He'd throw for fucking an hour and a half. And I'm like, fuck this. But that's where I got really good at getting fucked up when I go fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those, it's like, I had a great time. No.
Didn't catch a shit.
I think I caught a stick. You know what I mean?
So, you ever seen Aliens?
Well, I got my Roswell shirt.
I seen that. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah. Well, and it was one of those, like, I had a complete and total blast going to Roswell.
Yeah.
My kids hated it. And the funniest part was we walked through the museum, and, you know, each one of the museum things is talking about how it goes back in history and does this and how this intertwines. And if you look at it, see, it could make sense. Kids are just like, oh, this is fucking fake. Walked away, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm going through as fast as I can, watching these videos, and, you know, I mean, it made sense to me because they were talking about the, what they call them? Oh,
Nephilim?
No, the pictographs, but they're not pictographs. They're basically where they were drawing things in the
like Stonehenge
land. Yeah, kind of like Stonehenge.
Oh, but you're talking about down there in Peru.
Well, it was actually everywhere. There were some in Peru. There were some in, you know, Brazil. You know, a lot up north, Europe, Northern Europe, and it was talking about how in all this was done BC. So for somebody to want to see this, to quit hunting, to quit gathering, and go do this, obviously it made an impact in their life. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, you know what I mean?
But the only way you can see it
is from above.
From the air.
Yeah, and it was one of those like, wow, you know what I mean? They're trying to communicate something. And that's like Billy and I were talking, and he's like, do you think aliens? I'm like, honestly, yes. And he goes, well, why hadn't we seen them? I said, are you fucking kidding me? He goes, what do you mean? And I was like, okay, if something that is so advanced made it millions of miles, you know, hundreds of thousands of light years to get here, don't you think they would look to see where they're going? And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, well, shit, if you turn on the news channel right now, I'm scared. I want out. You know? And
well, I put in the front up here, and let me hit the front cam. Front. Normally, I have what I'm sort of drinking that night.
Yeah.
But if you look on the other side of that, I bought the Crystal Skull.
Yes, the Dan Aykroyd special.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
I recently bought that. Have you had it?
No, I have not.
You want to try it?
No, I'm good.
It's vodka. It's just vodka.
I know it's just vodka. I actually bought a friend of mine that bottle because I walked in and I'm like, oh, that bottle's cool.
I bought it because of the story, because I've seen the bottle before and I thought, that's pretty cool. But after I'm checking my phone.
You good?
Hold on 1 second.
I got boss lady. I fucking be in the back.
Oh, after I bought that, after I heard about Dan Aykroyd and the Crystal Skull, because I don't buy the Crystal Skull deal that much, but just hearing the story about the Crystal Skull vodka, I had to try it. I'm a vodka. Ooh, knock the shit out of my mic. I like the shit out of vodka.
Uh-huh.
I make vodka and tonics all day long. But that was cool. So I bought it. But when you were coming tonight, normally that's not what I have up there. But I thought about it because I know you just went to Roswell. Y'all just took a whole ski trip and everything else and did not invite this motherfucker.
No, sorry about it. It was one of those.
I mean, I promise you, I would have been funner than your kids. Not your wife, but I've been funner than your kids.
Over the kids. I learned a lot about our family. I learned that if I'm going to be stuck in the car for 14 hours with them, there better be a full bottle of melatonin that somebody's working on. Because, it wasn't too bad. Like, we drive 7 hours. No fucking problem. And then out of nowhere, just these screeches. I mean, noises. And it was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Oh, I was just bored. Shut the fuck up.
Just bored.
Yeah, I was like, shut up.
Man. But it was a good time.
Beckett and Bo picked it up. First day, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Billy hated it, and Chelsea hated it.
Chelsea hated it.
Oh, hated it.
She tried snowboarding?
No, she was like, we were skiing, and she's like, this motherfucker won't stop. I'm like,
you got to turn sideways.
Yeah, I was like, it's not instant. Like, it's like brakes. You just slow down. But I don't like it.
Does she know how to use brakes, though? We're talking about a woman.
No, she uses them just like she thought the skis would work. I turned this way, it slammed on the very, like 2 seconds, and we were fucking up that other car's ass. That's like, she told me before we left, she's like, if you say a fucking word when I drive, then you're driving the whole way. And I was like, okay, I'm driving the whole way. We get to about Lubbock, and I was like, hey, you can drive now. And because I told her I wouldn't say anything, I tried to go to sleep. I couldn't.
Of course.
I tried. And 30 minutes later, she's like, my eyes are killing me. I'm like, bitch, you're 30 fucking minutes. Are you serious? She's like, you drive? I was like, yeah, I drive.
Yeah. But it looks like y'all had a great time.
Oh, we had an amazing time. Where I was saying I was stingy was I had a good time skiing. So, the next day we were going to do something that Chelsea and Billy wanted to do. We were in Pagosa Springs, which is the deepest springs in Colorado or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so they wanted to go to the little spring spa. So we went to the spring spa. Well, they had a bar that was about 4 foot from the tub we were sitting in. I took advantage. I took advantage.
A bar 4 foot from the tub?
Oh, it was like, it was one of those full open bar right there. And it was like, yep, okay, I can reach that. We're good. And so, plus I was in Colorado, so I pre-gamed.
You pre-gamed?
I pre-gamed. It was one of those, I was going to have fun. The funniest part was by the time we left, because people were continuously, you were supposed to go from a hot tub to a cold tub.
Yeah.
And get the healing chemical, blah, blah, blah. Well, all it is sulfur smelling water.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, fuck that. I'm staying in the hot one because it's cold. And so people would come in and I'd shoot shit with them for a while. And Chelsea's like, everybody here.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It was like one of those, like, I was having a good time. And Billy's like, can we go? And I was like, why? He's like, you're embarrassing. Oh, well, my bad. Sorry,
I'm having a good time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, and so it was like one of those, like, we were supposed to be there another day in Pagosa, and it was family vacation, and it was enough family. So
enough family.
Like, I was like, you know what? Let's go home. And she's like home? I was like, no, let's go find something else to do. She's like, what are you thinking? And she was texting Wendy, Billy's other grandmother, I guess.
Yeah.
And Wendy's like, "Oh, we were going to go to Roswell," and I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, let's go to Roswell."
Well, hey man, I appreciate you being on the podcast. It's been great.
No problem.
I mean, from one tinkerer hobby guy to another, you've stepped your game up from what I do to a whole nother level. And just having the conversation with you about it, because I mean, I text you sometimes to tell you about some of the shit I'm playing with, just because I know you get it and you understand.
Yeah.
And
birds of a feather.
Oh yeah, man. But thank you for coming on. And
not a problem.
Hey, you got an open floor. Anything you want to say to the world out there?
I'll wait till it comes to me, and I'll tell you as we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clyde Hayes out, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night.